Throughout the entire pandemic, anyone audacious enough to question the so-called science behind certain COVID policies, or show any optimism for that matter about possible treatments, was written off or attacked by the media and medical establishment. On therapeutics like hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin, on the validity of the PCR tests, on the justification for lockdowns. Well, on all those issues, independent voices, including on this program, were not just mocked, they were censored as well by some of the social media giants. But here's the thing. Those who dared to think for themselves were right, and the TV experts were wrong. And today, we mark another occasion on which those same members of the media medical cartel missed the mark. When President Trump, in May, launched Operation Warp Speed, promising to deliver a vaccine to the American people by the end of the year, remember how the media and medical establishment reacted.
The reality is it's irresponsible and reckless for the President of the United States to drive the evaluation of something as critical as a vaccine.
He's talking about, pumping this out years ahead of a more traditional administration.
It's extremely concerning. I think it's very premature.
Preposterous to make that statement. It is impossible to get that done by the end of the year.
I love that montage. It's impossible. And of course, the media poodles, well, they took it from there.
Realistically, it's going to be in 2021 if you just listen to most of the experts, including Dr. Fauci.
Every expert I've talked to has said there's no way.
We've heard for a while that it's going to take 18 months to 2 years to get a vaccine.
This is a promise from the president based not on scientific fact. This is misinformation based, it seems obvious, on his desire to be reelected.
That's all it was, Jay. Well, there were actually zero mea culpas from any of those geniuses today when the administration of the vaccine began to frontline healthcare workers. Happened all over the country, and by the end of the week, the government hopes to deliver roughly 3 million doses to sites across the country. Now, Americans should be beginning to breathe a sigh of relief, right? Well, after all, a vaccine is what, for months, those same medical elites said we would need to get back to normal.
A lot of this. We cannot get back to normal until there is a vaccine for the novel coronavirus.
I don't think that's going to happen until we do have a situation where you can completely protect the population.
I think things are going to be permanently changed coming out of this until we get to a vaccine and we can fully vanquish this.
The only way we'll get completely back to normal is by having maybe not the first generation vaccines, but eventually a vaccine that is super effective.
I don't know, Bill, is 95% effective in the Microsoft world? The whole thing now seems like a bait and switch. The second richest man in the world, of course, Gates, seems like he's kind of digging this whole new normal stuff.
When do you think life will fully return to what we thought of as normal back in January? No masks, no social distancing, no other protective measures necessary.
Certainly by the summer, we'll be way closer to normal than we are now. But even through early 2022, unless we help other countries get rid of this disease and we get high vaccination rates in our country, the risk of reintroduction will be there.
Why the heck does he get to proclaim on any of this? Did you hear what he said? 2022. You must do as he says, or no freedom.
He's not a scientist.
This is insane. For a virus that, when you consider the total number of now estimated asymptomatic infections, it's less lethal than the flu. And right now, there's no reason for us to believe that there is any daylight between an incoming Biden administration and he's not a Dr. Gates. As far as we can tell, Bill Gates is an informal advisor to them already. Anthony Fauci, who will be elevated in January to the position of Biden's chief medical officer, loves as well to put your return to freedom on something of a sliding scale.
I don't believe we're going to be able to throw the masks away and forget about physical separation and congregate settings for a while, probably likely until we get into the late fall and early next winter.
Next winter. Okay, that's, again, on track with Bill Gates, 2022. This is insane. Obviously, there's something else going on here. If they truly thought that the virus was a threat to the survival of the planet, they would insist that other nations shut down the waves of illegal immigrants crossing borders, including the current crush at our own southwest border. Talked about that last week. Now, weeks ago, we also told you how Gates appeared at Mike Bloomberg's big globalist confab called the New Economy Forum. The goals there are supposedly to advance principles of global equity and global inclusion with, of course, global wealth redistribution.